In early 1925, the Butler Act was passed in the state of Tennessee. The act prohibited the teaching of the evolution theory in all public schools, saying evolution contradicted the theory of the divine creation in the Bible. The theory that people descended from a lower order of animals was offensive to some. The state of Tennessee did not want its children learning anything denying ideas from the Bible. It may seem ridiculous an act like this could pass in a country where separation of church and state is established in the First Amendment. But institutions in Tennessee were in place that made it possible for the act to pass. After many questions and controversy, Governor PA released a statement including his reasons for signing the Butler Act. He described the school system in Tennessee, one where the Bible was already being used daily in the classroom. Furthermore, negative comments made regarding the Bible had been forbidden in the classroom also, so he thought it made sense that an idea contradicting the Bible should be forbidden as well. PA also discussed how no person who denies the being of God shall hold any office in the civil department of this state, Tennessee. This shows just how institutionalized Christianity was in the South and the power it held in the government. PA felt it was only right to bring up children with the ability to be good citizens. By teaching evolution, it could undermine the authority of the Bible and lead children to not believe in God. Christianity and Southernism blurred together in government, school, and culture. This combination of Christianity and the Southern way of life became more established after the Civil War. Feeling separate from northern states geographically, economically, and religiously, the South strengthened its most important parts of its culture, agriculture and Christianity. As a gap continued developing between the two regions, the idea of fundamentalism was also born in the South. Fundamentalists were scared evolution could seep into their church and sought to take over denominations to protect their beliefs. These developments set the stage for an easy passage of the Butler Act. Not only was the Southern way of life acknowledged in the South, Northerners also observed Southern culture. For example, H. L. Mencken was a Northerner with strong ideas about the South. He grouped together Christianity, the South, and stupidity. He also coined the term Bible Belt to describe the area. His beliefs in Southern stupidity were shared with others and motivated many to challenge the enactment of the Butler Act. John T. Scopes was a young high school biology teacher who did just that. He was charged with teaching evolution and became the defendant for a trial to test the Butler Act. The ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, created during the Red Scare to protect the rights of American citizens, came to help Scopes' defense. The trial was held in Dayton, Tennessee, from July 10th to 20th, 1925. It became known as the Scopes Monkey Trial because of the circus-like atmosphere and the opening of a chimpanzee exhibit in the town of the trial. The atmosphere was so intense, in fact, Judge Rolleston moved the trial out onto the courthouse lawn because he feared the courtroom floor might break. The trial served as a big publicity boost to Dayton, and many reporters and spectators came to watch. This was in part due to the celebrity of the two attorneys. Joining Scopes and the ACLU on the defense was Clarence Darrow, an already very famous attorney. He was convinced to unite with Scopes by H. L. Mencken and shared many of his views. Even more famous was the prosecution, William Jennings Bryan, a passionate fundamentalist and three-time presidential candidate of the Democratic Party. The pairing made for an emotionally heightened trial. The defense team planned their argument around attacking the Butler Act. If they could prove evolution existed and the law was wrong, Scopes would be off the hook. The defense lined up scientists to be witnesses to explain how it all worked. Unfortunately, during the trial, Judge Rolleston ruled this strategy out. He said the trial was about whether or not Scopes broke the law, and to berate the Butler Act was not the point. The jury took only 8 minutes to deliver the verdict: guilty. It was clear Scopes had broken the law. Judge Rolleston ordered Scopes to be fined $100, the lowest possible amount as stated in the Butler Act. The ruling was later overturned by the Tennessee Supreme Court on a technicality, but the law stayed standing. Over the next few years, similar laws to the Butler Act were created in other states. This included Mississippi in 1926 and Arkansas in 1928. The Butler Act remained in place until May 17, 1967, which is for more than 30 years. After the Butler Act was removed, a new law was put in place in 1973. It was called the Equal Time Law and required equal time to be given in the classroom to both the Bible creation story and other evolution theories. It also required teachers to emphasize the idea that evolution is a theory, not a fact. The Equal Time Law was later overturned for being unconstitutional. According to The Crisis, a magazine published in the North by the NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the Scopes trial was a turning point in how Americans were viewed by the rest of the world. In an article published a few months after the trial, The Crisis talked about how Americans were behind. There was evidence of evolution since 1859, and it was ridiculous there was so much controversy in America over its existence. The article also discussed how many Americans tried to laugh off the event as out of the ordinary, while in reality, the trial represented what America was becoming. This event showed the rest of the world that Americans were becoming insular and close-minded.